Why showing up for your kids' games can make or break your co-parenting journey. Well, Karen and John's united presence at David's basketball games boosted his confidence and made him feel supported, showcasing the noticeable benefits of a cooperative financial arrangement. Hey everyone, welcome to the Positively Inspired CoParenting Podcast, where each week we bring you a two-part series on the life and journey of a cooperative co-parenting partnership. Every Monday we will bring you part 1 and we will expand on it in part 2 on Thursdays. Today's episode, Setting the Foundation for Financial Management and Co-Parenting, we're exploring the crucial role of money management, and we're going to see how good communication and planning together can reduce stress and create a supportive environment for both parents and kids. Through 2 compelling stories, we'll highlight the big differences between working together and not working together, showing how cooperation can make a huge difference in a co-parenting relationship. Let's get started. Right now is a great time to hit the subscribe button, and remember to click on the bell so you don't miss any episodes. A little disclaimer though. The purpose of these stories is to illustrate scenarios that are relevant to your co-parenting journey. Some stories that we share will be real-life scenarios of us or people we've worked with, and there will also be stories that are fictional but are relatable to the lives of all of us on a co-parenting journey. Let me introduce you to Karen. She's a devoted mom who's been putting in the work to keep a healthy co-parenting relationship with her ex-husband John. Karen is resourceful and always puts their son David first in every decision. With David's basketball season coming up, Karen feels that familiar anxiety remembering how financial strains have caused tension in the past. John, who's a good-hearted but sometimes forgetful engineer, often underestimates the cost of raising a young athlete. This time, Karen is determined to change things for David's sake. She knows that when David, who's a passionate and determined 12-year-old, senses his parents struggling with money, it affects his confidence on the court. And just like all of us, that's something she wants to avoid. With basketball season just around the corner, Karen is starting to feel the pressure of the upcoming expenses. One afternoon, David calls her and can hear the excitement in his voice. "Mom, I made the basketball team, but I need new equipment." Karen, already feeling the strain on her monthly budget, realizes she can't handle this alone. Wanting to keep their co-parenting partnership on track, she calls John and suggests they meet to talk about what David needs. So they pick their favorite coffee shop, a cozy place they used to visit a lot. As they sit down with their steaming mugs, Karen takes a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "John," she starts, her voice steady but sincere, "David is really excited about this basketball team, but he needs new equipment. Can we find a way to support him together?" Karen looks directly into John's eyes, hoping to convey how important this is. She explains how much it would mean for David to have both of their support. She talks about the efforts they've made to create a stable co-parenting relationship, emphasizing that their focus is on providing the best environment for David. "He looks up to us, and I want him to feel confident and supported," Karen continues. "Can we work on this together for him?" John nods, understanding the importance of her words and their established routine. He appreciates Karen's proactive approach, recognizing it as a part of their commitment to effective co-parenting. They talk openly about their finances and agree to split the costs. They also decided to use a shared expense tracker app to manage future expenses, making sure they stay on the same page. John listens closely, appreciating Karen's proactive approach and clear request. He sets his coffee cup down and leans forward, a thoughtful look on his face. "You're right, Karen," he says sincerely. "David deserves our full support, and I want to make sure we get this right." Karen continues, "We've always aimed to provide a stable environment for David. Using the expense tracker app will help us stay organized and avoid misunderstandings. It's not just about splitting costs. It's about being on the same page for David's sake." John nods, taking in Karen's words. He thinks about how much David looks up to both of them and the importance of presenting a united front. Seeing the determination in Karen's eyes and understanding the effort she's putting into their co-parenting, he realizes that this collaborative approach is essential for their son's well-being. So taking a deep breath, John says, "I appreciate you bringing this up, Karen. Let's make sure we stay consistent with our financial check-ins and support David together." Their agreement to split the costs and use the app sets the stage for regular financial check-ins. These meetings become a routine part of their co-parenting, helping them plan and adjust their budget as needed, so David always feels safe and supported. As the basketball season progressed, David thrived on his new team, thanks to the new equipment his parents got him. Karen and John kept up with their regular financial check-ins, which helped them manage expenses smoothly and avoid misunderstandings. Using the shared expense tracker app became a routine part of their co-parenting strategy. On game days, Karen and John always made sure to be there, cheering David on from the sidelines, and their united presence boosted David's confidence and made him feel supported by both parents. The effort they put into maintaining cooperative financial arrangement had real benefits, not just for their relationship, but also for David's well-being. Karen felt a wave of relief and gratitude as she watched David play with joy and determination. Their collaborative approach to managing finances had significantly reduced stress and let them focus on what really mattered, David's happiness and growth. John also appreciated the seamless communication and the positive impact it had on their family dynamic. Their partnership in managing finances not only ensured that David's needs were met without conflict, but also strengthened Karen and John's co-parenting relationship. This ongoing cooperation created a stable and nurturing environment for David, making him feel supported and loved by both parents. Through their consistent efforts, Karen and John showed that effective financial planning and clear communication are key to successful co-parenting, benefiting everyone involved.
When you were going through separation or divorce, did you think about how money matters would be worked out? If you did, that is awesome. You're ahead. If you didn't, take a listen to the story of Jake and Emily. Jake and Emily have been divorced for over a year and have been handling their finances separately, which means each one manages their own expenses on their own, which is what you would consider normal, right? Well, that's what most people do. The downfall is this leads to minimal communication about money matters regarding their daughter. Their 11-year-old daughter, Sarah, is aware of their parents' tight financial situation, but doesn't hesitate to ask for what she needs. As Sarah's 6th grade school year progresses, she needs supplies and support for her extracurricular activities. The lack of coordination between her parents makes these requests stressful for Jake and Emily, who struggle to find common ground. Despite their best efforts to move on, their unresolved tensions often spilled over into their interactions, affecting their ability to co-parent effectively. While in the middle of the school year, Sarah came home from school with a big announcement. She needed a laptop for school. The teacher told the class it's necessary for their assignments. Needless to say, Sarah was excited. Jake, always eager to support his daughter's education, promised to buy it without consulting Emily, who recently had been experiencing financial strain, but Jake was unaware. Later that evening, Jake called Emily to inform her about the laptop purchase. Emily had been stressed about her tight budget and unexpected expenses. She felt blindsided by Jake's decision. She had just paid for Sarah's school trip and didn't have the funds to contribute to the laptop immediately. While listening to Jake, she began to feel frustration and helplessness. Irritated, Emily questioned Jake why he didn't talk to her first and explained she couldn't afford to help with the laptop. Jake was caught off guard. He replied defensively that he wanted to make sure that Sarah had what she needed. The tension between them grew as their ongoing struggle with communication and coordination became evident. Have you ever found yourself in a situation like this? The conversation quickly escalated into a heated argument. Emily was frustrated that Jake decided without consulting her. Feeling defensive, Jake replied he was just trying to help Sarah and added that it would appear Emily never seemed to have the money when it was needed. Their voices grew louder, each blaming the other for poor planning. Emotions were running high, Emily with anger, blaming Jake that he made decisions without considering her situation, and Jake blaming her that she wasn't communicating. In the middle of their argument, they didn't stop to think that they were not alone. Sarah was hearing the argument from the next room. The excitement over the laptop she had felt quickly turned into distress. She peeked around the corner with confusion and anxiety, and the sight of her parents arguing about money again was overwhelming. And she felt a wave of sadness. She went to her room and sought comfort by hugging her favorite stuffed animal. This was a recurrent issue in their co-parenting. Lack of communication and collaboration. They had no financial share plan and no regular check-ins and no emergency fund. The stress from this financial surprise brought their ongoing struggle into the light, affecting not just their co-parenting partnership, but also Sarah's sense of security. The argument disrupted everyone's day, when it should have been a normal routine day. The tension and conflict took center stage, making even simple conversations strained. Sarah noticed the strain and started to feel guilty for asking for the laptop. She retreated to her room, clutching her stuffed animal, trying to block out the sound of her parents' raised voices. Later that night, as Emily was tucking Sarah into bed, she noticed her daughter's red-rimmed eyes and tears in her face. Sarah tried to be brave, but the day's turmoil had left her deeply affected. Sarah wanted to know why her parents' argument was about, so she asked her mom. Emily's heart ached, seeing her daughter so upset. She searched for the right words to console Sarah and explained that sometimes adults get upset and say things they don't mean, and that she wanted her to know that they all love her very much, and none of that was her fault. Despite Emily's comforting words, the impact of the argument didn't go away, and Sarah kept sobbing quietly. Emily stayed with her until she fell asleep, her mind racing with thoughts of how to prevent each situation in the future. The night ended on a somber note, with Emily realizing that their lack of communication and collaboration was taking a toll on their daughter. The unresolved issues between Jake and Emily remained, continuing to create a tense and unstable environment for Sarah. Their inability to effectively co-parent and manage their shared expenses together left lingering stress and conflict, highlighting the ongoing challenges of their separation. Witnessing what Sarah goes through is heartbreaking, isn't it? Now, let's take a moment to contrast these two stories and understand the lessons they offer. In the first story, Karen and John exemplify a successful co-parenting relationship where communication and collaboration are prioritized. Karen's proactive approach to discussing their son's needs and involving John in financial decisions demonstrates how a cooperative mindset can positively impact both the parents and the child. Their use of a shared expense tracker app and regular financial check-ins helps them manage expenses smoothly and avoid misunderstandings. This collaborative approach not only reduces stress, but also strengthens their relationship, creating a stable and nurturing environment for their son, David. In clear contrast, the second story illustrates the challenges faced by Jake and Emily, who lack effective communication and collaboration in their co-parenting relationship. Their separate handling of finances leads to misunderstandings and conflicts, as seen when Jake promises to buy a laptop for their daughter, Sarah, without consulting Emily. The resulting argument highlights their ongoing struggle with coordination and planning, creating a tense and unstable environment for Sarah. The lack of shared financial plan and regular check-ins worsens their issues, making it difficult for them to co-parent effectively. These stories clearly show how the approach to financial management can dramatically influence the dynamics of a co-parenting relationship. By fostering open communication and collaboration, co-parents can create a supportive environment that benefits both parents and the children. Karen and John's proactive approach to managing their finances, otherwise known as shared expenses, together leads to a harmonious and stable family life, allowing their son to thrive. On the other hand, Jake and Emily's lack of coordination and communication results in ongoing conflicts and stress, negatively impacting their daughter, Sarah. As we've seen in these stories, effective financial management and communication are not just beneficial, they are essential for creating a supportive and stable co-parenting environment. Karen and John's story highlights the power of working together to address their son's needs, leading to a harmonious and stress-free experience. Their proactive approach to discussing finances and using tools like a shared expense tracker app allowed them to create a positive atmosphere for their son, David. This collaborative effort not only reduced stress, but also strengthened their co-parenting relationship, ensuring David felt supported and loved by both parents. On the other hand, Jake and Emily's story serves as a cautionary tale. The lack of communication and coordination resulted in misunderstandings and conflicts, negatively impacting their daughter Sarah. The ongoing financial disagreements created a tense and unstable environment, leaving Sarah feeling anxious and distressed. This clear contrast underscores the significant impact that financial management and communication can have on the emotional well-being of children in co-parenting situations. These stories illustrate that successful co-parenting involves more than just managing daily tasks. It's about fostering a collaborative and communicative relationship that prioritizes the well-being of your children. By working together on financial matters and maintaining open lines of communication, co-parents can create a secure and nurturing environment where their children can thrive. If you found yourself facing similar financial challenges in your co-parenting relationship, remember that taking proactive steps can make a significant difference in your relationship. Reflect on your own financial management and communication strategies with your co-parent. Consider how you can improve your collaboration and use tools like shared expense trackers to create a more stable and supportive environment for your children. Your efforts can reduce stress and ensure that your children feel secure and loved by both parents. We know your time is valuable, and we know there are many choices. So I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for deciding to spend your time with us. We will continue sharing cooperative co-parenting insights and strategies with you so we can all live more fulfilled and mindful lives together. If you'd like to learn more about cooperative co-parenting and bring all these benefits into your life, subscribe to this podcast. Or for even more tips to improve your co-parenting partnership, you will find my blog on my website, www.getpositivelyiinspired.com/blog. Join us in our next episode, where we'll continue exploring financial management in co-parenting. In part 2, we'll go deeper into advanced strategies for budgeting and handling expenses jointly and fairly. We'll provide practical tips to further enhance your financial collaboration and ensure a stable environment for your children. Reflect on how you can apply these techniques to your own co-parenting journey and make a positive impact. Thank you for listening to Positively Inspired Co-Parenting. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. Until next time, remember that clear communication and thoughtful financial planning can transform your co-parenting experience. See you on Thursday. Live on purpose, and remember, you are a positively inspired co-parent.